Mark called me a year and a half ago, and he said, I got this idea. I want to put 4 guys or 4 people together doing material, but comics. So I looked around for a producer for a while, and Shelley Schultz, old music agent from William Morris and his own company now, Tried in New York, was interested, and he tried to sell it. And everybody wants to buy a show after it's a success.
Each comedian in this show leads to the next one and tells a story. There's a through line to the story. The first comedian is Joyce from New York City. Jesse's very funny. He's a great kid. He calls me Uncle Skeeter, which I like, because Mark and I are the 2 old guys on the tour, and Pat Dixon, when he's in the tour, and Jesse are the young guys. Karen Babbitt will be on the road most of the time with us, and Karen was at the Comedy Store for 10+ years with Mitzi. She was Mitzi's golden girl, and was clean and sober at the Comedy Store during the 80s, back when all that insanity was going on at that club. So I've known her forever as well. So we've all kind of known each other, and we got this chance to be together.
I got hooked up with the tour, like, technically 10 years ago, really, because Mark came to the Pittsburgh Funny Bone, which is my home club, and I was starting out as an MC there, and I was just kind of like a young fella doing the stand-up, and he saw me and liked me, and so he asked me to open for him on his sober show the following night that he does, and so I did that show, and then we kind of just kept in touch, and I would sort of ask him advice and whatever. So he was really like the first dude who ever gave me a paid gig ever in stand-up, and so then we kind of kept in touch over the years, and then coincidentally enough, I developed a serious drinking problem, and eventually ended up getting sober, and then calling him and going like, hey, I quit drinking too. So anyway, so then I ended up getting sober just coincidentally, and then a couple years later he called me and said, hey, I'm putting together this tour of sober comics, and I've known you for years, and so we've always worked well together, and so that's kind of how it went down.
2. Hey, would it be a question for you to just continue on down to DCA and pick up Pat?
Comedy business, the theater business, is the shuttles to the rental car, and the rental car, and the pickup in the morning, and the Holiday Inn lobbies, and the coffee from an urn that's been on since 11 the night before. And,
all right.
It's just
sure, yeah, I'm picking
it's not
up,
all lights and glitter, man.
Our stage manager, 12:30.
Business.
I'd prefer to get back
for
up
me,
here
anyway.
and get
Maybe
ready.
it is for some people.
Mark had an uphill battle this morning because we're doing a benefit for the Caron Foundation, and they're paying us well, but they're making a lot of money also. So we have a guarantee. So really the promotion is for them, it's not for us. So usually in an interview, we press our website, press our ticketing, our themes, Mark's jokes, a lot more than what he was kind of required to do for this, because they set up this interview, which was Mark's experience with them and how they're local and can help people. And when you put somebody on the air and you're doing a benefit for somebody, you really have to keep them in mind, not yourself. So.
When I first got cast in this show, and there was a casting process through New York and stuff like that, my role was different. I was the second guy, and I was a little frivolous, heading into some darkness. But I just found what really was in my story was all this kind of sadness about losing my wife and about, almost killing people with my drunk drivings and stuff like that. And I've had to deal with all those issues because I'm not BSing when I'm on stage. I'm making people laugh, but at the same time, I'm dealing with real issues. Not afraid of the past, willing to look at it, but not, afraid of it either. It's like, so there it is for me. All of that stuff makes me who I am. So yeah, it's been great. It's been great to deal with all of it all at once. Scary too, and that's why I asked for my own room. I go, I'm the one that's, reliving losing my wife on stage. And I know maybe some people are like, well, it's just a wife. What? Yeah, but, I really did intend to stay married to that woman forever. And all of a sudden you go, you screwed up and you're in this place. And I think every addict has regrets like that. It's not just me, but I get the opportunity, I suppose, to face it every day and bring it onto the stage.
I never did drugs ever. It's not that I didn't want to. It's just that I recognized really early that how I was handling sobriety, or how I was handling booze, and kind of thought, you know what, I probably shouldn't gamble or try blow. You know, that was sort of my logic there. But I'm kind of just an old school, traditional Irish drunk. Kind of feel retardedly stereotypical, the fact that I happen to coincidentally be wearing an Ireland shirt while I'm telling a story. I might as well have a leprechaun hat and a pocket full of colorful marshmallows. It's a little sort of over the top, if you will. But yeah, like I just kind of come from, you know, just sort of a traditional Irish family. It's real proud about being Irish and whatever else. And I just like sort of pretty much from the time I was 21 until the time I was 20, how old was I? 26 when I quit drinking. I really just, it was 5 really solid years of being drunk every night, pretty much. 4 bottles of Jack a week, that kind of thing. So, drunk driving across state lines, and, you know. I blackout drunk drove once across 4 states. Yeah. I woke up, or I knew that I had a show. I was in Kentucky, and I knew I had a show in Iowa the next night. And so I told myself, like, no drinking. Like, you can't do it because I have to make this drive tomorrow. Sure enough, somehow I end up drunk. I wake up at like 5 o'clock at night in the hotel the next day, and I'm like, I'm screwed. Like, there's no way mathematically, geographically, or physically that I will be able to make it this drive. Like, I'm just... And, but I had to just get moving, so I grabbed my bags, and I start running for the door. You know, they have that little sign on the door that has the, you know, the state rules for the... And it wasn't Kentucky, it was Iowa. And I was like, what the... And it occurred to me that I had, in fact, done the drive. So I was there and on time for the show. So I have no idea how I did it. I somehow checked into the hotel and everything, put my bags down, tucked myself in. I don't remember any of it. So there's that.
Hey Janet, this is Mark Skibby. I'm with Mark Lundholm. I'm giving him a ride to the studio. Just want to give you an update on where we are. We're still on the Beltway, so we're running behind schedule.
We're doing a phoner for the Nashville show on our way to a television station to promote the DC show.
Hi, this is Todd Grove with Mark Lundholm. He's got a phoner at 8:30.
With television, it's notoriously
9:35.
they want you there notoriously early for a TV segment. We'll do 3 minutes on TV.
Hey, is this Terrence?
They want you there an hour before.
Hey, Terrence, Mark Skibby. How you doing, buddy?
Here we go, TV time.
Doors open 6:45, show at 8.
8 o'clock.
Drop in, ComedyAddiction tour in MySpace, because if he doesn't throw it on there. Okay?
Parks so far away. Wherever he was.
Unexpected hunger traps me. Just shut up and stand beside me. I don't need your
I wear these shoes because my wife hates them. My wife hates these shoes.
Good morning, dear. How are you? Good. Nice to see you.
I am starving right now. I haven't eaten anything this morning. Not usually a good way to start for me. So I hope I don't snap or bite somebody's head off or talk too softly for this interview. I'm starving right now. But there's food on that table over there. They're doing a cooking segment before me. How great is that? With my luck, it's probably vegetarian stuff.
He's really tough on himself, too, when he realizes after the fact that he didn't say the website or he didn't promote the phone number or something enough. Because you can really, when you're on TV and you do like 3 minutes, you don't have much time to get information out. And you really can't hammer it home enough, you know. Top sell it, back sell it, keep the information out there so people can have time to write it down or remember it.